Hey guys, this is Joel. I'm sorry that I couldn't be there tonight to deliver this presentation. I know Rebecca could not be there either, which is why I've recorded this thing and it's being played for you there in class. We want to start with chapter 5 of the textbook, which refers to chapter 1 of our studies. And the objective for the chapter, the objectives, that we work on getting the problem statement right. We make sure the purpose statement is aligned to the problem, that our research questions and the purpose is aligned, and that there is an alignment of context and the problem, and that we define the different terms that we need to use within the our study. And then we'll have our first chapter complete. Piece of cake, right? The overview for chapter 1 is the most critical. All that follows is based off of it. So at least what I was thinking, part in the back of my mind was, as I was writing my draft for it, is, wow, okay, this has to be solid because the rest of my study is going to branch off of here. And if I can't lay down the groundwork, then where's the rest of my study going to fall, right? Obviously, we got to keep it in context. If we see that we begin talking about politics and the study is not about politics, well then we missed the context part. We need to obviously have the problem articulated properly, and we'll touch on that a little bit more in a little while. The purpose for our study. Why are we doing this? Why is this so important? And then the research questions, obviously the questions that we want to have answered from our study. Once the study is done and it's complete, it will answer these questions that we're going to have. And I've seen and I've heard, at the moment I can't recall where I heard the number of questions. And I know Dr. Maxwell has said 2 to 3. Somewhere I heard 5. I'm not sure if it was this textbook that mentioned 5. And I'm going to go with Dr. Maxwell's advice on this one, just because I don't know. She's my dissertation chair, maybe that's why. And she's suggesting 3. I'll go with 3. And then, of course, these are the core to our study. Is the last part there. Then we have our section 1 of our chapter 1. And that's where we talk about the research problem. And it's considered to be the heart of the dissertation, like I mentioned earlier. The problem statement is brief, succinctly stated an observation or a problem. And I had a problem with the writing of the problem. And I have to go back and forth, and I still haven't finalized it. I need at least 1 more sentence, 2 more sentences to really make it feel the way I need it to, but I'm keeping all this in mind as I'm putting together my draft, and I realize it's just a draft, but if I can solidify it here soon, then that means I don't have to worry too much about it over the summer. The readers and our audience will know why we're doing the study. That's important. Obviously, we want to be able to, whoever's reading our study, that they understand, why did we engage in this? What was so interesting? What was so important about what we're studying that we just had to do this as our dissertation? It also indicates the need for the study. It may be based around a scholarly debate, social issue, or phenomena. And it should be narrow enough to be carried out. The problem statement must explain its importance, type of research to be used, the population to be studied, the variables that may impact research, and it must include clarity, conciseness, and lucidity. And these are almost things that we've been hearing over and over throughout the last year or so, maybe year and a half. But it's good because finally it's all coming to the reason why we were being told all these things and reading about these things, and now here it is. This is part of the dissertation that we're putting together. In essence, chapter 1 should pass the test, the ROC test, and that's that it's researchable, it's original, and that it contributes towards our field. And I think we all have studies that or topics that will contribute to our interests. The problem statement development template. There's a template in the textbook, and that's what these 4 questions are designed to help formulate. If you can answer the what, the how, where, and when, the why, and if you can synthesize and articulate the problem, then we've got the problem statement. And it's easier said than done, right? Just like anything else. I read through these, and I sat there and I wondered, and I wrote back and forth, and I'm still going at it. It's not anywhere near complete. Well, I guess it is somewhat near complete, but not to the level where I want it and that I'm happy with. But if you can answer these questions, then we've got a pretty good solid problem statement according to chapter 5. The purpose statement and research questions. The major objective or study intent and how long or who's involved in the study. They're small script statements. It's a critical piece of the entire study. I recommend to include the exact wording of the purpose statement in introductory paragraphs of each chapter. So we're going to have 5 chapters in the dissertation. Then in our introductory side of that chapter, we should have our purpose statement reiterated in there, just to keep the audience and the readers focused in on what it is that we're putting together here. And we test the interconnectedness of the problem, purpose, and the research questions by laying them out as on figure 1. And figure 1, this was figure 1 right here, the problem statement development template. So if we were to take this and apply it as a template, we end up with what the suggestion is right here. Then we had figure 5.1 in the following pages, and it talks about a roadmap for developing the dissertation's first chapter. In this case, the author of the book put together a potential I guess topic for a dissertation, and here's the problem right here. Research indicates that significant number of people in doctoral programs complete all the course requirements, yet do not go on to complete their research or produce their dissertations. Hence, despite their significant investment in time and money, these people never receive the doctoral degree they set out to obtain, and thus remain ABD, all but dissertation. There is little information as to why this phenomenon occurs. The purpose for having done this the study, or the proposed study, is the purpose of this multi-case is to explore a sample of doctoral candidates' perceptions regarding why they have not managed to complete their dissertations. The research questions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is. I knew I had read it somewhere. Why do we have 5 questions instead of just 3? Or why does this person choose to go with 5 instead of 3? It was something in the back of my mind. But I'm holding on to Dr. Maxwell's suggestion of 2 to 3, which I like. I mean, I guess in essence, we're probably going to answer more questions than just 2 or 3. But this person just chose to go with 5. Here's the roadmap for developing the dissertation's first chapter. Additional elements. The introduction must contain the context of our topic. It must stay within context. It must contain the problem, the purpose, the research questions, the research design overview, the rationale and significance, the researcher, assumptions, and the definition of key terminology. And we'll begin kind of discussing each one of those points that were made right there in the context. Beginning, it's the beginning of that portion of chapter 1. It leads up to the problem. It provides history, a background, and issues relevant to the problem. It includes research, helps build a case for the need and value. It's about 5 to 7 pages. Problem, purpose, and research questions. It includes those right there too. And those we kind of went over a little while ago. So I'm not going to spend much time on those. That's why I didn't write more of that there. It includes a research design overview, which briefly discusses the kind of study being conducted, who is included, the site, etc. 1 to 2 pages. The other element that it includes is rationale and significance, and it's about 2 paragraphs in length. It's well thought out. The rationale is a justification for the study, and it's presented in logical argument. The significance addresses questions such as, so what? What difference does it make? Significance should A, contribute to a theory by adding research literature, or B, it should be a practical application, or C, could lead to improving policy. When we're talking about the researcher, what researcher brings to the study, the background, the education, professional experience, the unique perspective shows the reader that the researcher is prepared. So why are you conducting the study that you're conducting? What is it about you that you bring to the study? What do I bring to mine, etc. Assumptions, statements that reflect what you hold true about the study. And then, of course, a definition of key terminology. That's the terms that need clarification that will be used throughout the study. In here, this right here is a form that I kind of took the liberty to type out for my purposes. And then I figured, well, if I'm doing it for myself, then I'll just share it with everybody. And I sent it out earlier. You might have already gotten it. If you did and you found it useful, yay, good. If you didn't find it useful, that's okay. It's still there. I provided it in both PDF and then also in Excel so that you could go in there and change the look or do whatever you wanted to do with it. I think I caught a misspelling in there in one of the words. So if you catch it, then feel free to fix it. Although it's just a checklist for ourselves, right? But this is just one of the checklists. I thought it was going to be really useful, and I went and I typed out the other 2 checklists that were in there as well. That pretty much covers Chapter 5 of the textbook. Thank you very much.